Commissioners meeting. We're going to open with the invocation by Commissioner Goodman, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lanny, did you see that? I can't even wave at you without her asking me who I'm waving at. Let us stand and pray, please. Our Father and our God in heaven, we come to Thee in prayer. We humbly ask You to forgive us of all of our sins, our many sins. Father, we ask that You give us guidance tonight as we consider these matters before us. Father, we ask that You bless us with humbleness and acceptance and with the ability to cooperate. Father, we pray for those who are sick and ill amongst us. As always, Father, we pray for the safety of those who protect us, who wear a uniform both here and abroad, and for those who support them, all of them behind the scenes, for all of our first responders. Father, we ask all of these things in Thy name. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, move on to roll call.
All commissioners present.
Okay. Everybody's here. Move on to amendments to the agenda. We have one addition under executive session to IT technology-related issue. Secondarily, I would like to go down to item 5 under Board of Commissioners, restructuring of the Camden County Solid Waste Authority. I recommend that we take that off the agenda for right now. I think we have more questions than answers. I actually put that on the agenda, but looking back, what I want to know and understand is where we started with the Solid Waste Authority, where we are today, and where we move forward, because I'm not 100% sure we are in compliance with the Georgia Code. So I'd recommend taking number 5 off the agenda and adding the information technology item to the executive session. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carries. So move on to adoption of the agenda as presented. All right. Move on to the approval of the minutes of July 7th, 2026 regular meeting and the public hearing minutes. Any changes, deletions, or discussion? All right. Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend that we approve the July the 7th public hearing meetings and regular meetings.
And I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. We'll move on now to a presentation by Jared.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tonight I'm going to do a presentation in front of you regarding a little update about the Public Works facility and the property. We went out to bid the beginning of the year. We had bids back, and we've had some issues that we had to correct on the property. So this is what we're going to go over. So just give a little bit of a history. Way back in December of 2022, we had our kickoff meeting with our A&E services. We went through preliminary concept design and the site study, and then back in July of 2023, almost 3 years ago, over 3 years ago, we harvested the timber on the property. We obtained the EPD and land disturbance permit right after in September. In October, we presented the board a preliminary concept of the layout of the property. November, we began stump and grubbing of the property in-house. In January, we received a geotechnical survey on the original layout on the property. And then shortly after, Shalina resigned as director, and a few months later, I came in as director. After I met, after I got my feet under me here at the position, I met with IPG, and we looked for a site and a building redesign. After that, we went through schematic design, We raised the property elevation to reflect the new design, and we went through design development documents, got completed. We approached GDOT and got approval for an entrance off of Highway 110. We then corrected and completed the construction documents. We completed the bid package, and we had the bid package done late November, and we held off putting the package out to bid right away. Being with the holidays, it's really not a good deal to go out on a big package like that right during the holidays. There's a lot of people that go out of town, a lot of people that kind of shut down businesses during that time. So we held off, and then we went out to bid in January of this year. We got the public bid opening was in March of 2026. And during that time, we had to have a small, well, actually not small, a significant civil scope alignment. So throughout the bidding process, the engineering discovered that we had to create an addendum 5, and the addendum 5 identified that there was a 3-foot layer of organic material that was never removed before we went forward with this project. It needed to be removed before we reclaimed and added buildable material, backfill material, before we can go forward with actually executing a building on that property. So what we did initially is we created addendum 5, put those terms in there that they were to bid on the property, but also include this extra civil work that needed to be done on the property before we can go forward with building. So bids received include this adjustment. Pricing for the site remediation component in the bid received varied between $600,000 and $950,000. Public Works staff decided that to move forward with the site remediation in-house to minimize the cost of the project to the county. And we began the project in April 26, and we're scheduled to complete it by mid-August. So the site layout, on your left is the original layout, and then on the right is our current layout, where we're more up against 110. We're more prominent on the property, centralized on the property. The building and the facility in itself is able to expand if needed. We really painted ourselves in a corner on our original layout to where the building lied right on the back property line, so we weren't able to expand the building if needed for future use. So we redesigned the layout. The building was then centrally located on the property instead of being on the back corner, and this changed the geotechnical survey for the property at the time. So we're utilizing 11.2 of the 22-acre site. Logistical entrance is going to be mained on 110 instead of having dual entrances both on 110 and the residential road of Godley. We're looking at having a more advanced fueling island with unleaded diesel and DEF dispensers to move with our fleet. And then utility and grading, we're bringing a water main down from Woodbine, and we're also increasing lighting and perimeter fencing on the property. Spatial allocation of features. So it's going to be a basic pre-engineered metal building over reinforced slab. The administrative and the office area, which you'll see on the picture here, is on the right of the layout, is roughly 4,800 square foot. It includes open workspaces, private offices, restrooms with showers, and multi-purpose training and break room for the staff. Fleet maintenance shop area is roughly 8,800 square feet, features industrial grade 5-ton bridge crane, mechanical bays for light and heavy equipment with overhead doors. The mezzanine level will be centrally located. It's going to have dedicated structural storage overhead, minimizing primary operational ground space. And fire and safety separation, we ensure that there's a fully integrated fire-rated steel stud dividing wall between the offices and maintenance room, and also had increase the ventilation in between those two areas to make sure that none of the diesel fumes or carbon monoxide were to go into the office area while they're working. So going back to the soil adjustment and the site remediation. So during a geotechnical survey, we were informed that pockets of decaying timber and organic root matter was left approximately 5 feet below the grade, the final grade that we have attained on the property. So to prevent catastrophic settling of the machinery or soil or concrete, we needed to do soil clearing and deep proof rolling to make sure the site was complete. The unsuitable organic soil needed to be undercut and replaced with compactable structural fill, and the evacuation limit was going to be adjusted dynamically, meaning we had specifically certain areas had to go down 8 feet, while only certain areas had to only cut 3 feet. So we were trying to make sure that we weren't clear cutting the entire property and going further than we need to save money. So our estimated 120-day schedule to address the civil work was approximately, in-house staff was completing the remove the soils, and we utilized the soil to create a buffer berm along Godley and Georgia Highway 110. The monthly rental of a 30-run rock truck and sheep-foot roller was required. In-house staff on the second portion, which we're completing now, is going to be used to bring in buildable backfill material from our county's borrow pit and raise the area to the final grade for the project. This is requiring a monthly rental of another 30-ton rock truck and a sheep's-foot roller to compact. So to date, our expenditures to date are about $58,000. We're estimating that the entire project should come in right around $100,000. And just to throw back to the previous slide, estimates from contractors were anywhere from $600,000 to $900,000. So we're looking at taking this in-house. The contractors probably would have been able to turn on this a lot quicker, because obviously we're still doing everything that we normally do in the county, chasing work orders, correcting issues that we have throughout the county on top of doing this work. So our work was a little longer than what a contractor probably would have been able to turn around. When it comes to the risk mitigation and compliance, so we acquired a EPD land disturbance permit back in September of 2023 for initial clearing of the land. We renewed that license in April of 25, and that current permit expires July 31st, 2028. Public Works has led all of the erosion prevention inspections and reporting. We're ensuring the environmental compliance with the Georgia DNR throughout the extent of the site is being complied with. Monthly reporting has been submitted through the Georgia EPD online system. As the project has progressed, Public Works has actively repaired BMPs, which are the controls that we have to limit any spillage of water runoff on the property to natural waters. We've been improving those throughout, and we've been adding, when needed, additional BMPs to address any future erosion issues. The outfall ditch has been reinforced with BMPs and added to ensure compliance. Public Works requested EPD to come out and do a courtesy inspection of the site to make sure that we were in compliance and if there was anything that we could do to improve the site. On the 25th of June, EPD performed a site inspection and provided advice in improving the site while confirming that the site is in compliance with EPD permit. EPD advised that the current site plans will be updated with the additional BMPs installed, and we're currently doing that with our civil engineer right now. He's updating the plans, redlining it so it shows exactly what we have on site right now. Here's a clip of our actual permit, and then the two clips of our snapshots of our May and June reporting online for the sample monitoring sampling, so that we're showing that we are in compliance. And then milestones. So April, we started the site spoils removal. We completed the removal in late June. We're now turned the corner, and we're putting buildable fill back into the site. We're restoring the site and returning it to its original grade, and we're hoping that with rain holding off and we can work around it, September 2026, that we'd be going back out with the RFP for the building. And with that, I invite any questions.
I had a couple. So you mentioned the state-of-the-art fueling island. Do you currently have a fueling island?
We currently have a fueling island with 2 dispensers. It does not have any coverage or canopy, and it also doesn't have a DEF dispenser. So
in terms of those tanks, are you planning on reusing them, or are you planning on getting?
So the tanks that we have been in the ground many years, so it wouldn't be advisable to move those. We're looking to do above-ground tanks that'll be significantly better to maintain and can keep in compliance with, DNR EPD.
And then you mentioned fire separations. Have you had the chance for the fire chief to review the
Yes.
plans? Okay. Cool. Thank you.
No worries.
So based on the material out there, do you anticipate any additional dirt being brought in to bring the site back up to grade?
Just what we're bringing out of our borrow pit that we're operating on the north side of the county.
Okay, that's our,
That's our borrow pit that we're working with one of the residents.
and then you spent around 58, you anticipate around 100, that's all budgeted dollars?
It's coming out of the budget for the building itself.
Yes, okay, yep.
So we're trying to minimize this hit on what the final cost of the building will be.
So the only money we're spending outside of our own resources are rental equipment.
Rental equipment and having the geotechnical firm come out, obviously the BMPs themselves, those are the costs that we've incurred on doing it in-house.
Okay, all right.
So they x-rayed the ground and found that we didn't go far enough with the organic material removal.
Yes, so the original grubbing and stumping didn't go far enough. It didn't encapsulate all of the organic material. So we got that identified, exactly what we need to remove. We removed it, had them back out to resurvey the area to make sure that we were at a suitable baseline. And then we've been working on putting the backfill material back in certain lifts, 1 foot lifts, while they inspect to make sure that it is compacting correctly and that it will be buildable when we're done. The goal is when we're done in mid-August that we will have a complete good bill of health on the civil on this property, that when we go out to bid, every bidder will be confident that they don't have to do that civil work, that the civil work is good and that they can build on it.
Is there any kind of return that can be made on that organic material, or is it
So
just waste?
it was going to be waste. We were going to have it just shipped to landfill and them to use it as cover material, but instead we used it to make 2 buffer berms that are around the property on the south end to give basically the residents on Godly and anybody that's coming and turning into Godly onto 110 that courtesy, that noise and dust from our property when we do our work isn't going to be encapsulating their homes. It should break that up.
So those berms will be permanent?
Correct.
Nice. Thank
They're gonna look nicer than what they are now. We just needed to get the dirt out of the way for now.
Thank you.
So I guess it doesn't matter at this point because we have to deal with it, but at what point was there stumps buried or debris buried on the site? I mean, it's such history, nobody really knows, right?
So I've been told by many a resident that was a dumping ground for years. It was before it was given to the county from the state, it was state land. And people dumped cars, material. I mean, we found tires, we found logs from old trees that were felled. We found stumps up to about maybe 18 foot in diameter, stump and root systems that were all, buried. So there was significant material that had to be removed.
Did you find any gold?
We did not find any gold because.
If you did, it belongs to me.
And just for the record, you did not find Jimmy Hoffa.
Nor oil, nor bubbling crude.
Still looking.
I thought that was only like a Michigan joke. I didn't know that it came down here.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
One last question.
So go ahead.
Is there an ETA on when the building, like once this step is completed, an ETA on the building?
We've been looking at it as about a 1-year ETA. So if we go out to bid in September, I bring it in front of you, October, you're looking at, hopefully Christmas in '27,
Christmas present.
right?
Thank you.
So those pre-engineered buildings is going to make it go pretty fast once you get.
It will, but there's still a lot of parking lot. There's a lot of the whole facility. It's not just the building, it's the whole facility. It's our lay-down yards, our canopies for our vehicles, a fuel station. So there's lots involved. And then having to work with DOT to make sure the entrance is correct and to their spec. And so there's a lot of things that are going to be moving. I'd love to see that the building gets completed quicker than that, but we've been generally, shooting for about a year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never mind, go ahead.
Are there any local contractors that can handle this job?
The building itself or what we're
whole-
doing now?
Yeah, Is it going out to bids away from here, or is anyone here?
No, it's going to be bid on the Georgia site, and everybody that's here has equal bidding. I know there's a few local contractors that bid on it the last time,
Okay.
so there's no issues with that.
Anything else?
Thank you, Jared.
Thanks. Okay, let's move on to the first public comments section, comments regarding items featured on the agenda. Anybody wish to speak?
We have one registered, Ricky Manning.
Good evening, Commissioners. Rick Manning from Bullhead. First thing I want to address is item number 2. Since when did we start spending our resources to go get contracts awarded for roof replacement? I know we have a memorandum of understanding or whatever we've got, agreement with the base for roads and stuff, but now we're going into roofs. What is this benefiting us? Besides the fact it's taking away our resources and our management people to go out and dig for contracts and everything else. I mean, what's next? We're gonna start working on the dry docks? I mean, I'm not gonna understand this. I'll get in some open records requests and find the contracts on this, and we'll dig into it further. And that leads straight to why I want to talk about just this presentation Jerry just had. Look, why did we not find the organic material? Because this $100,000 cost, I don't know where you're hiding the money, but it's way more than $100,000. We spent that on dirt. I got the records. So now that dirt's a berm. The berms, I just went by there again. I got pictures of berms. They're down again in certain spots. This is every time we visit. So don't ask me how y'all fooled the EPD. But we've got the videos. You've got the satellites that y'all don't think I know how to read a Google map that's 24 hours later, that you can see the plumes going into the Still River. Y'all, the site was a mess to begin with. I realized that. I know it was a dumping ground. We played in it as kids. And, but this has been a cluster, you know what, out there. And it still is. I don't know where you're hiding the costs, but you're not going to hide them for long. It's not going to happen. The in-house in the county, so that costs a lot of money. Our equipment costs money to service, costs money to run, costs to pay them employees, who's a lot of them been out there on overtime. We got all that documented too. I'm not the only person that looks. Y'all do realize this. I get calls all the time. More than I call y'all, I get called. So when I call you, you can guarantee I've had about a dozen. And they take pictures, they take videos. And I've got them all. The stuff running down the ditch, coming from there all the way out till it runs out across 3rd Street into the river. Folks, there's still no reports in. 0 reports have been reported. We have shut down projects in this county from private people for the exact same thing that's going on out there. And I'm not trying to be a hard behind about this. I'm just trying to tell you, this is environmental. What we require other people to do, we should be doing even better as a county. We have the resources to do it. We have people with education. The blue card holders out there know what they're supposed to be doing. You know when the berms get fixed? When I message Robbie, and evidently he messages you. Then the berms go out there and get fixed. I let one of them go for 3 weeks now. It's still out there not fixed because I hadn't mentioned it. The other one was 8 days. I messaged Robbie, then it got fixed. That ain't how BMPs work, folks. Y'all know this. Robbie, you're a civil engineer. Joel, you've been in planning and development. This is not how things work. And these citizens has had enough of what you're requiring them to do, and then you turn around right there and they're riding by it every day and see the things that you're requiring them and fine them for in the past. I'm just telling you, we need to do better, folks, because this is ridiculous, and these citizens aren't stopping. They're sending me up here, and you know me, I don't mind. I don't bite my tongue about anything. When they complain to me, I come complain to y'all. Some of them work with the county. That's the reason they don't want to come complain to y'all. So, and some of them have to get contracts with y'all. They go to planning and development. That's why they don't want to come to y'all. They know the retaliation that happens in this county. Y'all have come after me before. Not this particular board here or this administration, but they've come after me. I've got all that documented, and I won that little battle. You know, I came to y'all 4 months ago about this same problem. And it's the same problem recurring and recurring. I mean, it's like you slapped me in the face and I don't know what I'm talking about. So, you know, you're not leaving me much choice. Because I'm not going to go back to these citizens and tell them I'm dropping everything. Because y'all haven't held anybody accountable or yourselves accountable. This is these people's money that you're playing with. That's costing us a fortune out there, and you try to hide the money, but it's not going to work. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, moving on to the regular agenda. Item number 1, Kelsey.
Good evening, Commissioners. This agenda item is for your consideration to approve the surplus of a pool table from the Senior Center that was donated. The pool table is no longer safe to use. It will be listed on GovDeals and sold. Staff recommends approval to surplus the pool table. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the surplus pool table.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Thank you.
Item number 2, Jared.
Gentlemen, I've got in front of you agenda item number 2, approval of a contract award for roof replacement services for Building 180 on the Naval Submarine Base Kings Bay. This is, obviously, we all know that we have an GSA with the base that we signed and extended in this year. We're looking at the approval to award the contract to Garland Company Incorporated for those services. Quote received from the Garland Company includes purchase, delivery, removal, and installation of all roofing materials for the building on the naval base. It also includes a 35-year warranty that they personally take care of. Contract pricing is based off the National Cooperative Purchase Agreement through Omnia Partners, contract number PW1925. The contract pricing is turnkey, meaning that includes all engineering and design services, installation, and bid pricing on all the Garland projects. The IGSA also includes a schedule of fee if we have any extra hours or manpower that's required for the property or for the project. We're looking at the expenses for the project for the base is $428,000, $428,787, and we're looking at a revenue for the county at $471,665.70. So roughly, we have $42,000 coming to us for monitoring and keeping an eye on this project while Garland does all of their work on the base. I would say that that's a pretty good savings and revenue for the county based on, you know, maybe 60 to 80 hours of time on base. So this is again in front of you for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move to approve this contract award for the roof replacement at Building 180 for Naval Submarine Base Kings Bay.
I'll say. Then second. Any discussion?
I wanted to ask you, Jared, how long does it take you to put together a bid like this on behalf of the base?
So as of right now, I've probably put in somewhere between 12 and 15 hours for this project. All said and done, it'll probably be close to 30 or 40 hours on site, making sure that they are complying with the contract and that, you know, what they're paying for on the base is what they're receiving, going through the punch list at the end and then getting the final signature and sign off on the base.
So essentially what we're doing contract administration, not contract inspections.
Correct.
Okay.
So a lot of these services that we're utilizing, Musco lights that we use for athletic field and parking lot lighting on the base, a company like Garland, they do turnkey. So they do everything from the design engineering. They go out, they make all the measurements on the building, find out exactly what products are needed to make that building have a new roof. And then they go out to bid it for contractors that are approved to install their Garland product. They get multiple bids, they present it to us, we go with the lowest bidder, and then we present that to the base, they accept the terms, and then we come to you guys for approval. So yes, it's basically contract mitigation for the project, and then we walk away. The base gains because when they were issuing this through NASVAC orders, they were looking at about $100,000 more for this project, and they weren't going to get it until a year from this October 1st, the funding. So because they can do it internally through us, through this IGSA, they have a different way of getting this expedited, more cost-effective and sooner.
So I know you're just fulfilling our obligation that we signed up for under our government services agreement. So thank you for doing that. Are you still able to keep up with a lot of your county responsibilities while still?
Yes, sir.
Doing these things.
So over the last 18 months, we went through a little bit of a reconstruction of Public Works. I brought up an assistant Public Works director that is able to act in my stay on the property and throughout the county whenever I'm obligated to do other things on the base or meetings or whatever it be. Maybe it might be going off to a conference for training. My assistant director can step up in my spot and take control once needed.
Well, I know the base certainly appreciates the work, and we appreciate the revenue that you bring in through doing
Yes,
this.
sir.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Jared,
Yes, sir.
this is a difference of $42,878, right?
Correct.
And this is part of an IGA that we'd already agreed to. Am I correct with the base?
This is correct.
Can we do, what else did we do?
We do pavement, we've done athletic field lighting, we've done reconstruction of railroad crossing. On the docket coming up, we have a few heating and cooling units that are a direct one-for-one replacement. We have other roof repair projects. We also have on the docket is a gas station and having 3 new underground tanks removed and replaced. And all of these are going to be projects that we're not going to be handling in-house. We're going to be finding a vendor that has good pricing and good reputation that we can match up with the base to get these services done. And we're just kind of the middleman helping everything happen. And then on average, we take about 10% off the top.
Okay, that was it. It's a lot bigger number than the 42,878.
Correct. As of right now, it looks like starting October 1st, there's well over $10 million in projects that are earmarked to see if we can handle on a case-by-case basis. So you're looking at $1 million that we could be bringing in that is earmarked directly for replacement of Public Works equipment that no longer needs to be siphoned off of the unincorporated fund capital.
Also, if I remember right, and I'm coming off the cuff here, but that was a part of your budget, am I
Correct.
correct?
I agreed that we wouldn't have a single thing come off of capital from the unincorporated fund because we would earn our capital through these projects on the base.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion
Thank you,
carries.
gentlemen.
Thanks, Jared. Okay, moving on to the reappointment of the Camden County Public Library Board of Trustees. We have 2 members that will be reappointed, Jackie Fry and Letha Massey. Do we entertain a motion to reappoint these 2 members? I'll make a motion that we reappoint the Jackie Fry and Letha Massey to the Camden County Public Library Board of Trustees.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay. Moving on to the, we have a vacancy in District 2 for the Camden County Planning Commission. Have several applicants. I think you've all seen those. We've seen the resumes. Is there any Do we entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to nominate Terry Landreth to the Planning Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Okay, moving on, we took item 5 off the agenda, so we're going to move on to the intergovernmental agreement with the City of St. Mary's, City of Kingsland, and the Camden County Public Service Authority for Parks and Recreation Operations and Programming. This has been an ongoing discussion. I think everybody's read the agreements. Do we entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve this intergovernmental agreement with the three, City of Kingsland and St. Mary's. I think Woodbine is not part of this,
Mine is not part of this, no.
and the PSA.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion?
Yes, so I mean, the first time we received a copy of it, well, I'm speaking for myself, was this Thursday when the agenda came out. It's the first time I've seen a copy of an updated PSA agreement. Just looking through it, I mean, there are some things I do have questions about. So if we're looking at, on page 8, number 1 there, it says the PSA shall maintain such insurance as will protect him from claims. Other places, you know, certain entities are referred to as their or them. Also on page 10, when it comes to programming, it says the PSA shall develop, maintain, and advertise a fee schedule for all athletics programming, which shall include, you know, cost per person, per sport, cost for apparel and equipment, all of this. My understanding is we have a sport within the county that currently is not ran through the PSA, but they have an agreement with the PSA, which would be the Camden Soccer Club. So is the Camden Soccer Club going to maintain a contract with the PSA? Because then the question becomes, is you have a private entity playing on a county-maintained field. So the question becomes whether we have to maintain the contract or not.
We'll let Joey address that.
Very good question. I have met with the soccer club, and we are currently working on that agreement as we speak right now. So yes, we will have an agreement with the soccer club, and I will bring it to you all, yes.
So we will, or the PSA?
We will, the county will, yes.
Okay, so that's going to be separate from PSA Sports?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So PSA is not going to offer any soccer programming?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And then the other thing I had a question about on page 15, when it comes to withdrawal and transition, it says, upon notice of withdrawal, the parties shall develop a transition plan that includes continuity of services, allocation of assets and equipment, and use of facilities. I think we saw that it was kind of a laborious process as far as the county and the municipalities just taking back responsibility for their parks. I think before we all get into an agreement, if we're going to have a section about what withdrawing from this agreement and what transition looks like, we should be a little bit more specific instead of, we'll figure it out when we cross that bridge. Especially when we're not commingling funds, but, you know, each entity is assigning funds to the PSA for programming. If someone were to choose to pull out, I think we should have a more concrete plan in place. So I do think that there's some improvements we can make to this before just moving forward with it tonight, and some clarification and hammering some things down.
Well, if the entity pulls out of this agreement, it'll be treated pretty much how Woodbine's going to be treated. Their citizens are going to have to pay extra to take part of any PSA programming. And I believe the city of Woodbine and the PSA are negotiating some type of agreement on that.
Is that specified anywhere here in here?
No, and the thing about it is, you know, if they do that, there's still 180 days before it takes place. So there is a time slot in there. And that's why you've got the continuity of services, allocation of assets and equipment, and use of facilities. So those can be worked out during those 180 days. That's the process.
I think I'm just now learning that Woodbine residents are gonna have to pay more to participate in Camden County sports. I don't know. For those reasons, I don't necessarily feel comfortable signing this tonight. And I think we should get some more, maybe even a work session on it.
I would like to add that all the cities, St. Mary's, Kingsland, and the PSA have all agreed to this as well.
Who was working on this on behalf of the board? Like I said, the first time it was ever presented to me was Thursday night when the agenda came
I
out.
understand. Myself, I believe Martin was a part of it, Robbie has been a part of it, and Ben as well.
Ben as well.
This has been worked on for a
We
long
tried,
time.
we tried to make this as smooth a transition as possible, and where nobody, because there's money involved, there's equipment that was involved, there were employees that were involved that we had to get, make sure that,
And if someone wants to pull out of that agreement with all of those things at stake, it's not really clearly defined what an exit from that agreement looks
Yeah.
like.
don't want us to pull out, for sure, but you can't control everything that happens. I think this is a pretty good transition, and it's a four-year agreement, if I remember right.
It is, yeah.
Well, and we've learned, that things can change fairly quickly. I think when we decided to take back responsibility of maintaining county-owned parks, it was right after we had just signed an agreement with the PSA or some sort of extension.
And I will tell you, the county projects, Alex has done a great job. Jared's done a great job. They have fixed up parks that haven't looked this good in a long time, as far as I'm concerned.
Wholeheartedly agree.
So
I've seen that improvement as well.
Us taking them back, I think, is a smart move on our part.
My point being is that, I understand three of the 5 have worked on this, but this is the first time we're seeing it. I've noted some very clear issues, and I think maybe we could use some more time on this. And we just have to send it back to the cities and have them look it over again. I don't know how much each of their boards have been involved in the process, but I know as far as this board is concerned, not everybody's been involved.
Further discussion? We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Okay. Moving on to reports. Any changes in the calendar?
No changes.
Okay, Joe, you have any comments?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to encourage 2 events. I'd like to encourage everyone to attend that is able. The first one being a town hall meeting on July the 30th with myself and the citizens of District 1, and any district would like to attend. I invite everyone. It'll be a Maple Forward at 6 p.m. on July the 30th. We're also having an adoption event this Saturday at Pop Shelf in Kingsland. And I also would like to congratulate Mr. Cyrus Roberts on his new promotion to Deputy Solid Waste Director. Really proud of him, and I really appreciate all the years of service he has given to this county. We appreciate you, Cyrus, very much so.
Okay. Thanks, Joey.
I have a
Move on.
question.
Yes, sir.
If more than 3 of us show up at the town hall meeting, are we okay?
We are. As long as we don't discuss county business.
So we have to come muzzled?
Yeah, muzzle will look good on you. It really would.
I had the rabies shot, but I was planning on coming in here with a muzzle on to protect Martin or to protect me from reinfection. I don't know what you do.
No, I think it's perfectly appropriate. If three of us show up in that form, there's no issues.
It is a quorum, but we can place a notice about that.
Pardon?
We can place a notice about it with the meeting. Yeah, it's in the public, so it's okay, but we've done it before.
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the additional public comment section. Anybody have anything to bring to the board?
Good evening. My name is Janie Everett, and I am a proud resident of Woodbine. 6 months ago, on January 6th, I came up here and I was really heartbroken with the possibility of Woodbine losing its charter. And I think people don't understand what happens when a city loses its charter. Woodbine is not just a city. Woodbine is the county seat. Now, me, myself, personally, I know why the hanging tree is in Jefferson. That used to be a county seat. I know we've been to St. Mary's, but we are in Woodbine, which is convenient for anybody in Dover Bluff or Spring Bluff to come to jury duty, just as Browntown and Woodsville would. So I understand that the state has 127 cities that are non-compliant. They haven't done their audits or whatever to take them out of compliance. Now, Woodbine says they're working on the audits. It shifts from day to day, but I think that the public, Camden County, needs to be prepared if they lose this charter. It's my understanding that last Tuesday, our senator's been notified by the state of Georgia that Woodbine is still out of compliance. That's an official notification. So I don't know what can be done, but we need to be prepared. I can't imagine that that courthouse is going to move to Kingston or St. Mary's, but we need to prepare ourselves for what's to come. I'm quite sure you all by now, in 6 months, I came up here January the 6th, and it broke my heart to have somebody out of state tell me that my hometown is going to be taken off the map. And I don't think people understand the gravity of what that means, to have your city name removed because people can't get along and can't do their job. It's insulting to me. It hurts my feelings. And I don't know what can be done about it. We've talked to the people at the city, for the city of Woodbine. And, you know, they just don't seem like they're interested in doing what's right. Sometimes you get a different story on a different day. But I'm telling you, Woodbine is the county seat. And I do expect and I hope that this county will take over the city. I would hate to see it happen, that another city would take over what is my hometown, Woodbine. So y'all work on it, pray about it, let's hold hands, and let's, I know you've offered Woodbine help, but Woodbine needs to get it together. And I think you owe it to the citizens of Camden County to officially let that senator notify them that this county seat is in danger because those people in Woodbine refuse to do their job. Thank you.
Thanks, Janie. Anybody else? Yeah, come on.
All right, I want a good comment today. Brian Lang Historical. For those of y'all that didn't attend the open house today, I want to thank the county for supporting them. The place was packed. We had people standing up in there. It was a great turnout. A lot of information was given. Dr. Ann was memorialized, and it was great. I seen Mr. Goodman there. I didn't see any of the rest of the commissioners, which is, you know, I know y'all got other jobs and stuff to do. But I just want to ask y'all to continue to support that place. We need to get the word out. A lot of people are unaware of the great stuff that's inside of that place. I visit it here and there, and I get a lot of information out of it. I've sitting there for 2-3 hours at a time and got a lot of information on my family and around Camden County. So for those of y'all that are not aware of it and the open house that was going on today, you need to, they plan on having some more. Let's get involved in it and keep this library going. Let our youth find out, because any library that we've got in this county is one of our best assets that we have for our citizens and our kids. Thank you.
Ricky, was any of that pound cake left over?
When I left, wasn't much.
It's radioactive. Thank you for bringing
But
that.
I'll be glad to make more for any of the open houses if y'all have some, so just let me know.
Good deal.
Thanks, Ricky. Anybody else? Moving on, commissioner comments. Anybody have any comments, suggestions?
I just wanted to thank Mr. Manning for keeping us updated of his observations as he travels Camden County. And to Ms. Jeannie, I just wanted to echo that same frustration and publicly just say that the hand is out for the city of Woodbine if they're just willing to take it.
To the dad in the blue shirt back there, sir, they pay us in Skittles. If those little girls would like these Skittles, I can't have them, I'm diabetic. So come up here and get them when you get a chance.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about the town halls, Joey. I know I've had several, most commissioners have several. It's just a good environment to take away from the rigid part of this discussion to you can have an open comment section. And I think it's going to be a great thing, I think, so I accommodate you for doing that. I ask all the commissioners to show up if you can. That's all I had. Yes.
I would move that we adjourn the regular meeting and convene an executive session for the purposes of discussing real estate, personnel, and information technology.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the regular meeting and convene an executive session. All in favor? We'll be back. We have one item that we need to deal with, and we entertain a motion. Mr. Turner.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to authorize the purchase of the network equipment at a discounted price of $87,368.78.
Mr. Chairman, before we do that, I move to adjourn the executive session and
Yes,
reconvene
we
the
should
regular meeting.
adjourn to executive session. Yes.
Second.
You gonna make me read that again?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner Smith. The motion is to adjourn the executive session. Do we have a second?
Hey.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Okay, now Mr. Turner.
Motion to authorize the purchase of the network equipment at the discounted price of $87,368.78.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?